Hello everyone, Tina here for Simon Says Stamp. I hope your day is going fantastic. I'm so glad you're joining us. Well, I'm super excited to share with you a card where you're making a gift card holder on a card, an A2 card base, using the Simon Says Stamp card kit for December 2025. It's all about Christmas. In fact, it's called Bright Christmas. We're going to be using a greeting from our stamp set. We're going to be using quite a few elements from our die set that's in the kit. Some pattern papers. We are going to be using our sticker book and our cardstock and a little bit of texture paste that we're going to mix with some rock candy. So we're going to jump in and get started. We're going to do some die cutting first. What we're going to do is take our cardstock. We have two 8.5 by 11 sheets. I'm just going to take them both and we are going to cut them in half. One of the ivory we're going to use for our card base. And then I created two A2 panels here that we're going to do some die cutting with. Let's go ahead and take our envelope die. I'm going to die cut this out with our pattern paper. With our tag here, we're going to use our ivory cardstock. And then with the craft cardstock, I'm going to die cut out the berry branch. I'm going to die cut it out 3 times. I'm also going to die cut out the elements to create our bow, along with the bow. And I'm also going to die cut out some pine needles here. I'll do 3 sets of the pine needles. Now I have all my elements die cut out. Now I didn't bother doing the reinforcement because this is going to be covered on our tag. And then as far as our berry branch goes, to create the berries, since we cut it out with our Nina Desert Storm cardstock, all I'm going to do is bring in a red marker. I'm going to be using my RV29. And I'm just going to go over the layering berry elements, just like that. And then all we do is add a little bit of glue to the branch here. And then we can layer those right on top. Okay, and those are all of our berries. As far as our bow goes, what we're going to do is color that in also. Since we have our red marker, all I'm going to do is use this and color in our craft cardstock with red. This way everything kind of coordinates. I'm also going to do the bow here. I want a few more elements for my card today, and that's where I'm bringing in some more of our pattern paper. I'm going to be using the paper that has the holly and the berries, and I'm also going to be using this sheet that has the candies on it. What we're going to do is bring in the paper trimmer. I'm going to trim down 2 of the candies. We'll do 3 because I'm not sure which ones I want to use. Now with our holly pattern paper, this is the reverse side, I thought we would trim out a holly branch, and I think I want to do this one here, or a holly cluster. So I'm just going to trim it out here. And just using my scissors. This part doesn't have to be perfect. Once we have our holly fussy cut out, another thing that you can do if you're not into fussy cutting is to use a circle die and just cut out one of the hollies that are in the pattern paper. Just use a circle and that would work just the same, I think. This just gives it a little bit more detail. Now, since my fussy cutting skills are not the greatest, what we're going to do is take some of my Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Cocoa ink, and using a finger dauber, I'm just going to go around the edges of this fussy cut element here. This is just going to take away any of those white imperfections. There's quite a few. And it's also going to give me a little more of a vintage feel to this. While I'm at it, I'm also going to go on the edge of the candies that we cut out with our paper trimmer. If we go along the edge here, this is going to give it a finished look too. And I'm just finishing up on the edge here. While I'm at it, I'm going to add a little bit of brown to our pine needles. We're going to go one step further with this. I'm going to put these to the side, and then we're going to bring in our texture paste. Now, our kit came with a 1-ounce jar, but I already have one open, so I'm going to use my bigger jar. And all I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of texture paste with my palette knife, and I'm going to add it to the edge of my pine needles. I love doing this. And then I'll do the same thing here. And I want to add a little bit of texture paste to this pine needle. I'm just going on one side here. I'm going to add a little texture paste to the edge of some of my holly too, as if there's a little snowfall on here. And then I'm going to go in with some of my distress glitter. This is clear rock candy. I've had this for a long time. The packaging has changed since then, but I think there's a black cap on them now. But I'm going to go over my texture paste with my rock candy. I'm going to tap it in there. This is going to give me dimension and a lot of sparkle. We'll just tap it in there. And then I'm going to use my tweezers, and then I will tap it off here. Now we have some texture and some sparkle on that texture paste, and this is going to take no time at all to dry. I'm going to clean off my work surface, and then we're going to stamp a greeting on our tag. For my greeting, I'm going to stamp it directly on my tag, so I want to put this in my stamping positioner. And I have two different inks. I have Positively Saturated Cherry, Positively Saturated Latte, and I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas, starting off with Merry. I'm going to layer it here on my tag. I'm going to stamp it a couple times because Latte is a little bit of a lighter brown ink. And I do want a light ink for the Merry. We'll stamp it a couple times here. Lovely. And then I'll remove my stamp. And Christmas, I'm going to be overlapping my Merry. Now I'm going to stamp with my Simon Says Stamp Cherry ink. And we will stamp Christmas, kind of overlapping it. Lovely. And that is all there is to my greeting. We're going to put this to the side. To build our pocket, it's going to be really easy because there is score mark. What we're going to do is reinforce all of the score lines on the left and the right and the bottom. Okay, and I want this bottom flap to be on the outside. You could put it on the inside if you want, but I'm going to put it on the outside. So I'm going to lift over one flap, add a thin line of glue, and then I'm just going to close this. And then with this bottom flap, I'm going to close it over right over the top. And I just love how easy this pocket is to make. And that is all there is to our pocket. You have a quick and easy and a super fun gift card holder that will hold a gift card beautifully. Love that. I created a side folding card base with my ivory cardstock. And then I'm going to be using this pattern paper. This is the reverse side with the stamps. We're going to trim this down to a panel that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm going to bring back my cocoa ink and just using that finger dauber that I used for my cutout. So I'm going to go around the edge, just kind of darkening it a little bit. I'm actually going to trim this down a little bit more here. So now we have a panel that's 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And again, we'll just go over the edges with the cocoa ink. I'm going to take this panel, I'm going to add a little bit of glue behind here, and we're going to layer this on the front of our card base. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my gift card envelope. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. We're going to add this directly to the front of our card base, but I'm going to place it off to the right here. And then now's the fun part when we get to decorate. First we're going to add some of our candy canes, but I am going to trim them down. We're going to trim them down, taking about a 1-inch piece off of the bottom here. And I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing. Before we add the candy cane, we're going to add our little ribbon pieces. And I'm going to add it about a 1/2 inch from the left of my gift card envelope here. We'll just tack that down there. We'll add some glue to the shorter piece. I'm going to add this about 1 inch from the top of my gift card holder here. Now originally I was just going to use 2 of the candy sticks, but you know what? I think I'm going to add 3. So we're just going to crisscross 3 of these. Okay, I'm going to flip it over, and then I'm going to put some foam tape behind here, and I'm going to add this. I did put foam tape behind our Merry Christmas. I'm going to layer our holly here. We have our bow that I'm going to add to our tag. We'll just put a little glue around here, and then we can add the bow. Now all we have left is our berries and our pine needles. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue. I like to just add glue at the base of the pine needles, and then we're going to do a little tucking with them. I'm going to put 2 down here on the bottom. And then I'm going to add 1 on the top here. And then we can add our little berry branches. Okay, and now for finishing touches, I'm going to bring in my glossy accents. A few little drops to those berries on that pattern paper that we fussy cut out. This is going to give us dimension. And then I'm also going to bring in some of my Simon Says Stamp Cottontail embellishment mix. We're going to add a few sequins here to the front of our card. In our sticker book, I saw this little tag that I thought would be really cute in here too. It says to and from. So I'm going to add this little tag to our existing tag, kind of tucking it underneath the bow. All we have to do is add a gift card. This one doesn't color coordinate, but I do have one that is a thank you card. The nice thing about gift cards is you can color coordinate. There's so many different kinds. This one actually says thank you on there. But color coordinate those gift cards in here. And I think it makes a great gift. That's my card project today using the Simon Says Stamp card kit for December 2025. It's a super fun kit. I had so much fun creating with it. The kit is called Bright Christmas. Links are down below in the description area if you guys are interested. Thanks so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.